I hate when that happens. So I started recording and then it just stopped. But last night was very interesting. I had an epiphany or important revelation about the key to the next part of my life, my journey. And um, as I was pulling the cards, I got resistance, right? I got the feeling that there's going to be levels of resistance towards it. And I am going to be resistant towards it because what I have been tasked to do, I literally have to step outside of my comfort zone, and it is literally going to put a light on me, right? But I am confident in the task here because if it wasn't for me, I would not have been given the task to handle. I have the knowledge, I have the wisdom, I have the capacity, the tolerance to do what I am being led to do, right? And it's basically to bring the fight to the forefront, right? I finished the fight alone, so now it's time for me to bring it out in the open. And it's coming from a way of peace. It's coming from a sense of peace within. It's coming from wanting peace. And I'm going to do it with style, right? It's not going to be anything that anyone has ever done before, maybe not on this level, right? But it's coming from a self love attitude, it's coming from a place where we have to learn self love. And when we continue to resist self love, we also resist peace, right? We resist confidence. We resist going with the flow. We resist being resilient. But I am here to show you that self love is needed, peace is needed. Who you are, how you show up in the world is needed, right? It allows you to be at peace with who you are. It allows you to move with the flow and be resilient without anyone having anything to say. 2:22 on the clock. And it's vision, it's the vision of an angel, right? It's how I see the world. It's from a higher perception, from a higher way of looking at things. So I'm going to go with the next layer. And when we talk about resistance, it is clarified with priest, right? Facilitates spiritual commitment, serves as a channel of spiritual energy. So I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to resist what I'm getting ready to do because, one, they're not going to believe in it. But this is something that I cannot resist because I already know that this is who I am, right? I serve as a I serve as a channel of spiritual energy, and I have these spiritual commitments. And it's not in the spiritual way that you think, but I feel like people are going to think that I violate or people are going to feel like this violates the trust of the spiritual community, right? And that I am maybe a false prophet or not being truthful. But again, there's no ill intent. I'm not looking for any gains from this. I'm just doing what I have been led to do, right? And with the confidence is going to guide me, right? Because it represents the nature of the divine in life in itself. I know that I am divine. I know that I am a child of the divine being, right? And it's time for this confidence to guide me, to be this channel of spiritual energy, to overcome the resistance of who I am and make a fight for this eternal child, right? I am determined to remain young in body, mind, and spirit, ability to see things with fresh eyes. Again, that vision energy. How do you see things? How do you see the world? How do you want to see the world, right? And being a peaceful networker, being at peace with the communication, enhancing unity through the sharing of information, right? Engenders social awareness and empathy. That is what I'm here to do in the most peaceful way, right? I feel like so many times we have try to take over things and violence and war. That's not what this is about, right? This is about peace and love. And then with style, romantic charm, and potential for power. So very young like energy, right? Very young like style, very romantic. I feel like there's probably going to be a lot of romantic networking, a lot of masculine energy who's going to like my style, maybe like my attitude, but I'm not concerned with that. But I'm also a student in this life, right? Like I said, priests are very young, very childlike energy. They are learning, they are on the road to learning about being king, right? Learning about being who they're led to be, or who they're supposed to be, right? Humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning, forever a child, right? Children like to learn, they like to know things, they like to learn new things. My toddlers ask me a million questions a day. I'm always a student. I have Venus in the 9th house, right? Always learning. I like to learn new things. I like to understand things, and I like to share what I have learned. And self-love, right? Highlights your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. All you have to do is love yourself, right? We're no longer inducing self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others. We are here to uplift and to help and to teach. I am here to serve as a channel of spiritual energy. I am here to share the information. And I'm here to go with the flow because I have this willingness to follow my intuition, even when others doubt me, even when people don't agree on the journey, and they may not agree what I am tasked to do, but it's not for them to agree. It doesn't matter how they feel. It doesn't matter what they say. Right? Because I get my information from the divine. Then I have resilience, freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. That is what I am here to do. That this reading is right on, right? Just gives me the ability to, instead of just feel it, put it into words to create this story. Right? I am here to share. I'm here to learn. This orphan energy just keeps coming. Independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering fear of surviving. Right? This is the vision of an orphan, the vision of a child that has been left alone, that has been left out, who has not felt appreciated, has not been a priority. I am the orphan. Right? Maybe not in a literal sense, but our spirits have been denied. They've been left uncared for, untended to. This is the feminine energy, right? I feel like we have been resisting our feminine energy, and it's so interesting that this is Father's Day. But yet we're talking about being in flow. We're talking about being in the energy of femininity. All right, and I feel like a lot of it is because we have lost the feminine energy, right? You're being led. Things are being done by the book. You're being guided. You have the rules. You have the confidence. And now it's time, right? It's time to fight for the eternal child, but in the most feminine way, in the softest way possible. Because of how you think, your thoughts are at peace. You're at peace. You're sharing peaceful thoughts. You're sharing a peaceful way to fight. You are sharing a peaceful way to become the resistance. And this is from a higher power. Your style is a romantic charm, potential for power coming from a divine energy, right? I feel like this is renewing this masculine energy in a very feminine way. I feel like you're also learning how your attitude can help you perceive things, right? Building blocks. Being the student and having a go-getter mentality or go-getter attitude, or an attitude to want something more, is allowing you to build, is allowing you to create a feminine energy from a higher power. I'm getting divine femme here, right? Self-love and saboteur highlights your fear of self-empowerment. I feel like that's not for you. I feel like the resistance is not for you. Self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others is not for you. Fear of facing your own demons is not for you. I feel like sometimes when we realize things are not for us and we continue to hold on to them and we don't answer the call, is what keeps us in this sabotage energy, which keeps us in these forever cycles, right? Going with the flow, willingness to follow the intuition here and now, not really thinking about the past or the future, but just being in the moment, just trusting your intuition for right now. Thinking and appreciating the moment, taking the moment in. Because we're in between worlds, right? Freeing yourself and others from destructive impulses that keep us between worlds. And being in between worlds is not for me. I want to be on one side. Maybe the way that this world has been built, this system has been built, is not for me, so I'm ready to leave the old world. Loyal heart. The love that I have, the loyalty that I have to myself, to the earth, even as an orphan, is what's giving me the vision. I'm also getting that the angels are watching. I'm going to do one more layer and then I'm going to close it out. Only because there is a card in this deck that I see in my mind's eye, but I don't know if it'll actually come out, but we'll see. It's the Tolerance card. I feel like this is my journey because I am the only one willing to do it. But I get universal oneness. Right, coming together. Sorry, I'm fixing the cards. I think a lot of times we resist coming together. We resist one side of ourselves. This is the truth, right? Being confident in who you are, trusting and understanding that you're being guided. I see the heart. It's like the love, the compassion. Look up. I keep getting this card lately. Having fun, finding the fun in the clouds. And it's funny that it comes out on the eternal child. But it's also time to have fun, time to look in the sky. ego death. There's a huge tower moment, right? When you start having people think about peace and sharing your thoughts about peace, I feel like it's going to bring a huge tower to people. It's going to bring this ego death, and people are going to start thinking differently. And they're going to see the miracles in nature. They're going to see how the higher power works. It's going to be up front, out in the open. There's no more hiding it. It cannot be hidden. And having that tower moment, having that ego death is what brings in miracles. Being in this energy of universal oneness, you have your truth, you see your truth, you seek the truth, and you have time to just enjoy life. Being a student and willing to build and having the energy of a master builder or the attitude of a master builder is what brings your vision to life. The blueprint of self-love is unconditional love. We're no longer sabotaging our lives. We're living the lives that we choose to live through love, having a vision of unconditional love. Got a lot of heart here. A lot of pink. Channeling, right? Not just being a spiritual channel, but also being a channel for the earth, the animal energy, right? Going with the flow and listening, but not necessarily listening with the ears, like it's more listening with the heart. Understanding that you are part of it all. And you can trust it. You can believe it. You understand that you're overcoming. You have been resilient in this journey. And you're getting ready to experience true bliss and happiness. And be at peace. Literally be at peace. I love you. Have a beautiful day.